Hey, hey, are you there? Are you out there? Hey, hi guys. It's me, and guess what? I'm my natural. Ooh. You just see me in colors and colors and colors, and a lot of you know me, and that's what I do. I wear colors. Okay? But I'm letting you know now, I'm letting my hair down. No pun intended. Guess what? Man, y'all know me. Keisha's Convo is what it's called. And guess what? I have conversations and I share conversations. I don't disclose my parties that I conversate with, but the conversation need to be heard because the conversations that I have with people that I'm connected to are always intense and they're on point and they're spiritual and they are wonderful. They need to be heard. They need to be talked about because these are the things that we lack in. You understand? So, yes, we're conversating right now, and I've been having a few conversations, but this one today just rung a bell on a level of I was talking about, relationships and older versus younger type relationship. And when we were speaking on, and don't get me wrong, I'm saying this, but we were speaking on the men first, right? Because we know since the beginning of time, man has always been able to grab a hold of a little old tender little young thing and have his way building a family and whatever he doing. And it is what it is. But we were talking about younger versus older in relationships. And I I gotta go where I was with it, right? Where I was with it was we were on the older man versus younger woman. And men, you got those ones out here. And I don't mean no harm, y'all. I'm tired and I'm letting my head down, okay? But guess what? We got these relationships where the older man always want a younger woman, right? And it's forever, it's been okay to do so. If she reaches a certain age, once she started to have her period, then she can reproduce. And that's what it's about. And she's eligible for marriage once she has a period, right? And you talking about a 14-year-old, 12-year-old, 11-year-old girl now having a period, and she don't even understand what is happening with her and why is she bleeding and what's going on, to the point that she's terrified. And the next thing she know, you're pawning her off to some man that's older than her that she now has to marry and do whatever for whatever gain it was about, because that's what it's always been about. And I'm talking about, let's go all the way back to the we went with slavery and whoever and however it was done. Guess what? When it was done back then, that little girl didn't have a say so. If the farm was up for take back, then she was ready to produce and be a wife to some man and do whatever he needed her to do. She became a wife to produce, but she ended up being a slave because once he beat her and make her get out there and work, it was what it was, and nobody cared. Okay? Nobody really cared. I have to really look at women like we were created to be a helpmeet for man. God looked up and gave man rule over everything. And that's why the song goes, James Brown, it is a man's world. Ow, yes it is. It's a man's world. But guess what? It don't mean nothing without a woman or a girl. And that's the sad part, because a girl will do just the same. Because a woman reach a level where she's no longer useful to the man when it comes to, oh, she old, she ain't this, she ain't that. But the same way that young one can pop it and drop it and lock it and pop, pop, pop and do all the shit that the older woman can no longer do on flexibility, you forgot. That little one over there is productive. She can produce. The older one, you can have fun all day and we ain't got nothing to do but play, because you're not having no babies over here at a certain level when an older woman has gotten to a level, but she's still active. That's the difference. But I was talking about how, like, yeah, young older men love to get young women because they'll tell you, oh, The real older ones, baby, I don't like nothing old but my money. Guess what? Some money can't even be spent. It's so damn old. They burn that shit. And we be looking like, how the hell we make money and burn it, but we going through. Boy, Bow, you sound crazy to me. Because if you storing up for life, you could be starting at the age of 15, and you telling me by the time I hit 65, my money that I saved all them years back then is no longer good because it's old money. But either way, I just listen and I let them say what they say. But ain't that you don't like nothing old but your money. And then you get a young woman and you get her, and then you do all you do. And guess what? At some point, she started to change. She started to shift. She starts to do some different things, right? I'm smoking my cigarettes, y'all. Y'all know I don't do this all the time on here, but working. I'm working. I'm a work in progress. Let me say that. I am. I'm winding down. And this is, I don't know what we're going to call this Monday, but we'll come up with a name by the night. And I'm having me a cocktail. However, I have a lot of things that's weighing on me very, very heavily, okay? A lot. And I'm sitting here like, wow, I got people dying on me. They've been doing that. And I'm sorry, y'all. I'm trying to figure out what this is right here, but they've been dying on me. They've been doing things. Like, it's been a lot going on for a minute. And you'll be like, how much can one person really encounter? I don't even want to ask the question because I don't want to see how far I go. But I was talking about when men get younger women. They always want younger women. And don't get me wrong. Let me do this. And I'm like, damn, yeah, they get younger women because younger women are easily to control at some degree, right? So they gravitate to the younger ones because they can do little things and make them look like they coming up. If you mess with me, if she on Section 8, you know what I mean? You can go ahead and pay that little $30 rent, $25 rent, or whatever. Pop this in there and do that here and there. And you like a peacock walking through her house. Because she young. She don't know no better. She grew up with no daddy or no male figures. Positive male figures. Let's say that. But at the end of the day, when you look up and she started to change and she started to move a certain way, and now that little thing you got, you know, she doing something different and you don't understand it and you don't like it because you did everything you did to make sure you would remain in control, right? And now you gotta deal with this little one right here. She doing too much. But that's the thing about women. When God created us to be your helpmeet, oh, Lord have mercy. Now, let me do this with y'all real fast, okay? I'm going to do this right here because I've already done it for myself. But I need to do this. And I'm going to do this because I have to do what I got to do. And I be trying to do it these ways, but I'm going to do it how it go. But let me do this real fast. I'm going to sit this down. Gotta breathe. Didn't I tell y'all that in the beginning? You gotta breathe, baby. As you breathe, relax. Relax yourself. Like real talk, I want to breathe. Holy Spirit, activate. That's my thing. But just saying Holy Spirit, you don't gotta say no more because he's already there. And then I'm gonna say Jesus, and let your will be done. Guess what, y'all? I was talking about the older man versus the younger woman. They all love it and all that, this and that, yeah. And we got the pokey and all that. I get it. I get all that. I'm learning these things, right? Because, I mean, I was in one relationship for like 22 freaking years. That's a long ass time. So at some point I checked out because at 17, I told myself, hey, look, in the mirror as I was in the bathroom getting ready to prep, do what I got to do to prepare myself for my day. I caught myself right here and say, wow. And reflection started to flicker through, like things that happen, little reels. It's like a video reel for me, right? I can see this and that and that one, that one. And I want to walk away because I didn't wake up for this. I ain't trying to, but this is where I am. So I had to look at these things. You understand? And say, guess what? Stand here. It ain't comfortable, but stand. And I did. And I had to tell myself at the age of 17, because I now face a heartbreak, okay? And I looked at myself and said, baby, some said, hey, you, every man didn't do it to you. Don't make each one pay for what someone done, right? And I caught myself and it clicked my brain like now, boom, I'm locked in. Okay, real talk. Because we as people walk around operating off of what has hurt us, what they did to us, who I trusted the most betrayed me, and however, and so far. No, they did it. Whoever it is, whatever their name is, that's who done that to make you wake up to the point that now you need to guard yourself. You need to protect this in your heart. Guess what? Guess what, y'all? That's a good thing. Because when your mom wouldn't let you off the porch and when she allowed you to go on the front and she gave you that much room, she going to give you enough room to step on the sidewalk. And then before you know it, you can cross the street if you're doing what you're supposed to do. However, you got to be mindful and pay attention. I'm okay with all of that. Like real talk. I'm cool with that. Like learn, but don't ever make someone else pay for what someone done to you. Don't do that. Now, I go to this moment because I came in on the older man versus younger woman. And that was the topic, that was the conversation, okay? Older man versus younger woman. And I was like, yeah, because my thing is this. And I'm mainly going to talk about me stepping into what enlightened me to bring this to you guys and share this with you, right? I said, yeah, because see, the thing about that, the younger they get, because younger means mindset and control, right? If you're older, they're gonna, if you are in each other's company, that means it's a level of respect there. I don't care where they see you at or whatever you said that triggered them to want to hear what else you got to say. How about that? Then when you get there, okay, younger versus older. And like I said in the very early on is, guess what? This been happening from the beginning of time that we may know to whatever age or level you on to know. All of that slavery, captivity, to the domination of and the control of legally by law, boom. Caveman. Let's go way back then. Caveman style. What do? He like a ha ha ha. Boom, he hit her ass on the head with a damn bat, might as well call it, and drug her ass in the house. When she woke up after unconsciousness, she might not know who am I, where am I, how did I get here, but I belong to you now. That's the same behavior. But when it comes to older men dealing with younger women, it's already a mind control. It's a mindset. It's a control thing. And we know this because you could buy any kid, a young person, a whole lot of things. You already know what they desire because you already met one before her or him. But you already met one before, so you know, and you probably met multiples to know that that's what y'all like, right? Guess what? What you fail to realize is when it's a younger man, older man and a younger woman, women are built and created only for your help me. It's for you. If you know anything, if I don't care how much we know about the Bible, If you know the main things that matter, it said when God gave him man ruler over the world, the animals and all, he named them all and everything. Guess what? He was the care for the land and the animals, and we would live in abundance, right? We would live in Eden. We would live in a time of everything being glorified, and we wouldn't have to work hard and stress for nothing, right? But that didn't happen. Same way when that baby girl back then in slavery days and all these other days, that when man decided to captivate us, but only in our culture, they did more than that. But we ain't gonna get into that right now. That's another conversation. And if you want us to get into it, then bring something to me to enlighten me on that, and we will get into that conversation. However, my thing is, I said one thing about men with younger women. I mean, like real talk, this is me responding to the beginning of the conversation. I said the thing that killed me with that is because it's easy to do that because you can control a situation. You can give that little young person, that little young lady, a couple of trinkets and things, and spend a little time and do something. And yeah, she good, because guess what? You forgot the part that I said a little while over coming in. I said growing up without a dad may mean a lot of things, right? So now you look like what I would want because if my dad is in my life, then that's my king. And I'm going to be looking up to him as long as he's doing what I feel like makes sense to me and is right to me. He's grooming up a queen. But if he's not there, and you look like what I portray a dad should look like as a woman, then I'm going to gravitate to you, right? And I'm going to do these things. And you already know that because you came in doing that. That's what pimps do. Hello. Mm-hmm. That's what pimps do. They see the little young girl getting off the bus. They already know she ain't from around here because you hang out at the bus stop on a regular. And how about now you like, hey, baby, you okay? What you need? I can help you out. And then you're going to love on her and condition her mind and do all that manipulate shit. Ain't no different from an older man with a younger woman because you got her for a reason. Because you know if I get her, I can shower her, treat her like a queen, build her up on whatever status or income I want to build her up. And then I conform, I control. That ain't cool. But that's what happens. But see, this is the thing that trick y'all and have y'all hating the younger girl later in life. Okay? Because you did all that because you couldn't take a woman, first and foremost. You had a woman, you probably left her for the younger girl, but you can't take a woman because a woman is going to hold you to standards that a queen was built up on. How about that? When a queen was taught morals and had things and know, she know. But how about even when she's a queen already, because her father may not knew he was a king and ran off before he could even step into his own stuff, it's already on her to be who she gonna be. So when she gravitate to you and get with you, but you doing all these things, however, God created woman for man to be a helpmeet. So therefore, she's already seeing, she has a gift to see ahead of your plan because she hear your plan. Her job is to help and assist. So when she hear your plan and she see where you at, she see all the other avenues that could possibly go wrong. So she want to work with you on that. How about that? But you don't see that because when you got her, depending on what her mindset was and her age, the age really don't have nothing to do with the mind, but the mindset. She's going to be loyal to you first because she's been longing for a dad, a protector, a king, somebody she can look up to, and you happen to be it. And however y'all met, it may work that way because if she was a prostitute or doing what she had to do to sell herself to get what she got to do for her survival, hey, it is what it is. But when you meet and she respects you on another level, she see you somewhere else. But what y'all forget is you could trinket her with all these things and give her to whatever. Say for example, let's go here. We're gonna do it in plain terminology. Say if you can get her a $400,000 house. I said her. I didn't say her and her kids. You're going to set her up right there. I can put her in that. I can pay that. I can do all that. At the end of the day, what you fail to realize is she's still evolving. She was a little girl and she's a woman. She was created to be a helpmeet. So that means, guess what? I'm created to help man. When man was here before me, man, however it go, man was the ruler. He gave him authority over everything, as far as where I study and come from. So we're not going to get into that part. I just want to point out something. For years, it's always been okay for an older man to have a younger woman. But it's different if a younger woman desire an older man. Now you're looking at her like, what do you mean? Da, da, da. But for a man to get an older woman, it's the same desire for a woman to want an older man. That's how they connect. Because she's a woman who may not have had a father figure in her life, and she's longing for structure, guidance, protection, that kingship that would teach her to be even stronger as to what her purpose is to be here as a woman, to serve, to be a helpmeet, okay? And I say serve, it came out, but serve only come when you're lined up a correct way. But my whole thing was men fail to realize that when you get a woman, no matter how young, she's always evolving. She's always growing. She's always coming to her full fruition. As she do that, she starts to analyze and look at and process everything around her as she do these things as a woman. And you may have her by 10 years, 5 years, whatever. You're the older one. If you are the older male, then guess what? She loving on you and all that, and respecting you and everything and being very humble, but somewhere she break out. She got to go. She got to move. That's because now she's starting to resent you. She's starting to understand that, why would you take me if you already knew? Because I said that just now. You already know that. They know that. They pray on these things. People do these things. But guess what? You did all that and she's steadily growing. That means you're going to have more problems than you expect versus a woman your age. See, the only thing you'll get from a woman your age is she's reached a plateau and she's on a level of mindset and behavior to the point that she's looking at you saying, then what we doing? Because we signed up and said we was doing some things, but I don't see you. Yeah, what we going to do? And guess what? While you so busy trying to resent her because you thought she was that little girl you looking at now, how about that? That little one now who a little younger, perky and all that. Don't matter. Because guess what? I had somebody tell me, big girls, them big ones. I love to see a big plus size woman, especially not just saying, I said I love to see a plus size woman, but especially when they got the little trim, they got the little bottle waist, even though they thick. But they, guess what? They said they flexible as a motherfucker. So I'm like, ooh, okay. I hear you. I'm learning. But that young one over there, that little girl, that one you got, she's going to continue to grow. And she's going to start to look at you one way and say, damn, I looked up to you. I respected you. I was loyal to you because I knew you cared for me, right? That's what she's going to be doing in herself as she develops. So I don't care if you got 10 years on her, you're going to have 10 years every 10 years, and she's going to got damn near 15 to 20 years on your ass before you know it. She done surpassed you. She surpassed you. And you don't understand it because all that she thought you had and what you were doing, she needed a father, and you was that when she first saw you. And when y'all got there, but she loved you and liked you so much, and being naive and never knowing what a father looked like, she just know that thing there, y'all end up somewhere else. How about that? But you are the adult. You are the oldest. You're the man. You chose her because you didn't want to deal with a woman your age, because a woman your age, guess what? She's going to hold you accountable. She on shit that the little girl not going to pay attention to, okay? She don't need you to buy a rack of tennis shoes and an outfit. How about that? She can do that for herself. But we signed up right here about some other shit, and then what's going on your end because you entertaining this. But that little girl, that little one you got, the younger they get, the tenderoni, but you old as a motherfucker. You getting old, know that. Real talk. And a lot of y'all need to really throw in the towel as older men. Run around chasing these young girls. You can't even hold enough breath to get your ass up some steps. but yet you try and chase after something. However, that little girl growing up, she growing up, and the more she grow up, the more evolved she get, the more she's veering away from you, and she becomes to resent you. She's looking at you like, nigga, you knew, excuse my language, you, dude, you knew that I was a little girl. You knew my story. You knew what I was going through. You knew that I was hurting and longing. You already know this because you just seen many of me. You did that, and she starts to see that, and that's why she deterred from you. That's why she move on. That's why she do that. Because we as women, because we were created from man, one rib to be exact, and a whole me came out of that. Hello. A whole me came out of that. And guess what? One rib from man for you, from you, for you, and you refuse to see who we are. And when we start to evolve past you, because when we start to resent you and look at the shit you done, we be like, okay, I saw more potential in you than you saw in yourself. Real talk. I saw more potential in you than you saw in yourself. And now I'm tired of trying to pray and figure out when you're going to get this. So I got to go. I got to go. Don't be mad at me. Don't want to hurt me. Don't want to beat me up. Like real shit. And especially if you are the older man who got me, if I was a younger person and you, yeah, because some just, a lot of women go to older men because women are, you already know, created a little more mature, a little more advanced. That's it. But you got a lot of men that's right there on that same track with them, same way. You know, that's understandable because you got a lot of women on tracks with the men. Either way, it doesn't matter. My whole thing is when they get to that level and it's gone, let it be. But men and women, we lost sight of a lot. But my whole thing is the older man versus the younger woman. And if you pay attention to an older man who like to run around and chase younger women, pay attention to the track record. The women get younger and younger and younger. That means we know you've gotten older and older and older. If you dealt with each one of them 10 to 5 years apart, that's 15 years. Your ass about to pass out. But you run around. The only reason it's happening is because that now says you have a very immature ass man, first and foremost, right? Because if you're getting younger and younger, then that means we can go Benjamin Buttons. Because I tell people all day, I'm Benjamin Buttons, baby. I'm in reverse. I'm getting younger with time. But guess what? Not to the level that I'm going like that. Like, come on now. I got 2 glasses, y'all. Y'all see that, right? That's the H2O, baby. But I'm sitting back like, wow, this is crazy because they run after the younger women. Half of them so wore out by the time they get one because, you know, you can't even manage that. And that's going to be probably her first resentment. She going to start looking at like, this nigga, your old ass, what are you doing? And before you know it, she's on. And then when she get on, she going to be on and gone. Then when you got one your age, she going to help you build. She going to teach you. She going to do whatever if you got it in you. Because she will become the young one too in the mindset of, bye-bye, birdie, got to go. You know, but it's crazy. We were just talking about how older man versus younger man, I don't want nothing over my money. Okay, some money gotta be burning, so we can't even spend it. That ain't gonna work. Because if you older than me, that means you've been stacking longer than me. And half of what you just stack, that's back up 15 to 20 years, you gotta burn all that down. You probably did that shit when you was 13, 12. I mean, hey. But the older man versus the younger woman. And I'm gonna put this in reverse. And I'm going to say this like this because, ladies, it's no joke that we all, women, y'all love young men too. Y'all get out there and want to see them young men and get on all out. Yeah, and you ain't no better. Depending on the age, you know that's a baby. You know it's a baby. And you go do whatever you do with it. Do you want to control it? You want to be demanding, talking to it like it's your mother, like you the mother. Like, don't no man want that. But we got to figure this out, because I know a lot of older men who had young women, and they jacked up right now. They jacked up. She gone. And they ain't got nothing to say. They don't even know what happened. Because you was too busy in control thinking you got this little young one. I do. That's mine. You run that. Because I don't even heard some say, guess what? The older they are, they stuck right there. It was something I knew that broke up off of, just because the man, he's older, he don't want to do or try different things when it comes to the intimacy on every level of that conversation or intimacy. You see, hello, you figure that out. And I'm like, what? You got to try new things when you're in relationships. He said that joker don't want, he got one basic way and that is it. And guess what? It went left. It went left because that younger female ventured out. She ventured out. But I just look at that like, come on now. It shows me like 2-3 different things. Real talk. When I see older, and I said, don't get it twisted, ladies, because y'all do some shit too, okay? But I get it, because a lot of these older ones, they pretty much burnt the fuck out. And they be talking about, I want them young one. You want the perky titties and the big butt, but guess what? You can't even keep up with it. And then you find out the the older ones or whoever you thought on your level, you probably can't even keep up with her, or you probably ain't even doing all that you need to do to your full capacity. I just be sitting back like, wow. But that younger man versus older, younger woman versus older man is different. You know, it's a control factor involved. It's a lot of things that happens in that. And then when she gets tired and she move forward or she move differently from what you expected, you're ready to hurt her. You want to do something to her. You want to beat her down. You're going to make her pay. But when an older woman give it a younger man, they will entertain him far as they want to, and then they'll let him know to get the hell on, because you want to be a man. You're trying to walk in big boy shoes, but you're not ready. But we got to keep in mind still, as women, that's a young man. He don't know everything. You knew that, but guess what? She only going to him for one reason, because it's a lack thereof. It's a lack thereof. And most of the older men, they so wore out. They wore out. You done work certain labor type jobs and shit. You know what I mean? You weighing your body down physically, what you doing, and you run around chase some young girls. You can't even keep up with them. All you can keep up with them with is giving them what they, buying them trinkets and giving them money. But to build a life and settle down, because guess what, y'all? We all get old. Know that. And as we get old and you sit back, you're going to say, damn, I do need a companion. Because companionship is different from some controlled ass relationship. It's different. A companionship is a thing of respect. It's of, I appreciate you and what you bringing out. Yeah. And we can sit back and get old when we can't do nothing at all but sit on the porch and look at everything that's happening. Kids, grandkids, and people going about. But we got stories and laughter together as we go out. Because we going out. And if you going out and you're in the wrong lane because you chasing something you shouldn't be chasing, because older women should not be robbing little ass boys about their self. I met so many males that have told me how the first encounter was with a woman far older than them, and they could have been as young as 9, 10, 12. And I'm saying, what? What? What are you saying? That's not cool. You telling me some grown ass woman, let me back up, let me not be judgmental, let me not be doing too much, but I'm already offended because I am a woman first, and at first, but I am a mother, okay, of a male child. And for me to ever find out that somebody took my baby boy, my son, my little one, to some grown ass woman at the age of 9 or 10 and gave him some sex with her, I'm gonna have a problem with that. That's real talk. But I met many men who said, their first, they was like this, or they uncles, or my friend, or his cousin. Like, no, that shit ain't cool nowhere around the board. But I had to back up and not be judgmental because of the simple fact, maybe they were on drugs. Maybe they suffering some mental situation because these things do happen, right? And guess what? The only time I don't give a damn about the mental or the whatever you're doing is when I know you know, and you know was things that was put in place that you can do if you felt like you was gonna do this. When you're not doing that, then I don't care about what you're saying. If you got mental and they say take meds, take the meds. If you just on drugs and you know that's a baby versus the dude around there, but you feel like you can manipulate the baby faster to get what you want, shame on you too. That's where I don't care. But to hear these men tell me how the first encounter with sex was when they were 9, 12, 11, 10, that bothers me. That bothers me to know that he wasn't 18, 19, 20, where he knew he was horny as hell and this lady say she want to get down. But to know that somebody did that to a baby boy is not cool. But these are things that we do. These are things that happens, and this is why we get to a point where man want to control. Oh, they want older, you know. They want younger because they were so young when an older one done it to them. So if I get a younger one, I can control her. Because when I was 9 and they made me have sex with this lady, I wasn't in control. They controlled me. Now I can control her. That ain't cool. That's hurt people hurting people. My cigarette went out. I'm glad I got these though. These, certain cigarettes do go out when you sit them down. I like that. That's a good look. Real talk. But that blew my mind, y'all. It blew my mind. And guess what? I was heartbroken when they was telling me that. And then you got some men tell you that like, shit, first time I had sex, I was 9. Man, lady, that's not cute. You trying to brag on that to make it look like I'm far experienced in this. Boy, you won't ever be experienced if you got the right one. Same way you bringing it, they going to teach you something. But at the end of the day, to know that a little baby boy at 9, 10, 12 years old was introduced to sex, that's worse than being introduced to anything else you can be introduced to. Because you just took this baby from an emotion that they would never understand. And yeah, it may have been scary and all that, just as it is with adults when they finally reach a certain level that they haven't reached. Now you got an innocent being as a child reaching a level like that. That's a whoa, that's a roller coaster. And nobody explained to them what was going to happen. If parents, if you're a parent that really give a damn, guess what? As a parent, you will be talking to your kid like, "What's up? You having sex? Are you interested in having sex? You getting there now? Your thought process, like, talk to me, Mom. I can't do that, man. Why you talk? Guess what? I'm your mother. If I don't tell your ass what's going on or tell you the truth, who gonna tell you? The streets, oh Lord. As they say, you be a $2 hoe turned out here. I'm not doing that with mine. I keep it 100 with mine. You better be doing the same with yours. Because your kid could be another kid sitting somewhere as an adult talking about the first time they had sex, they was 9. I ain't about to do that. Blew my mind, y'all. My heart was broke. I said, that wasn't okay. That was wrong. That's rape. Why? Because a woman did it, it's okay? No. That's a baby. So we gotta be mindful when we out here searching for things. And when it comes to that thing, the male thing, I broke that thing all the way back to slavery. So I don't care what you say right now. Guess what? You know better. Do better. And women, I done learned a lot about us. We ain't as whatever as we want to act like. Whole lot walk around with some little boy ass secrets at the age of 9. When you was 20, whatever, 30, whatever. So yeah, think about that. Now you got babies of your own, male and female. And guess what? You worried to death. You don't want nothing to happen. And if you were a victim of it, guess what? Then you extra on your shit. As you should be. If you're not, shame on you. Because some people like to see other people go down avenues of, I went through this to get it. You gonna go through the same thing. No. I couldn't understand that P. Diddy building an artist or whatever, building the band shit he was doing back in the day. You got all these kids coming from far and wide to build a band. But yet you got them walking out in cold ass weather from one part of New York over bridges to another part of New York to get a cheesecake you like. You just making them sweat. You doing some Cinderella stuff. That don't work like that. Each one teach one, each one reach one. I couldn't get that. I'm like, if you've been through that shit before, why would you put somebody else through it? Why? I mean, y'all, I'm feeling a lot of emotions right now, and I told y'all, I just shared with y'all that, somebody a little baby lost her life, and a brother of ours he took his own life, and the wife had to undergo surgery with a broken heart because her baby was dead. I'm messed up and I'm hurt about it, and I'm gonna talk about it. And I told y'all I'm gonna keep talking about it. But the older man versus the younger woman, and I'm sorry I keep saying it that way. That's because I need to speak on the older woman dealing with younger men. Because when I sit with some of these men, these kings, these profounding, arising, moving into their platform kings, share stories with me and tell me about how their first encounter was at 9 years old. And I was 10. And I was this. And I'm saying, Lord, that ain't right. Because, I mean, hey, guess what was about to blow your mind? That ain't right. Like the average stuff start happening. Most kids go through a lot more when they like 11 and 12, Little girls, especially because they start to develop a little more, However, none of it is right. And when I hear the older man versus the younger woman, and then he getting angry, and then the next woman he get younger than the other woman, and the next one is younger than the other woman, you just old and trying to prove a point. Who you proving it to? Like, you a father. You like, the younger they get, you're now a great grandfather fucking with that. Real talk. You in a relationship with a great grandchild. Sit down. But the women, man, I said all that to say how we got sold out and went through and did whatever. But now guess what? I also spoke on how I know sometimes after you done sat back patiently wait for this joker to run, do what they do, because good women to do those things. They'll move on with their life and they'll build whatever empire they got to build because God already created them to be a helpmeet. So while being a helpmeet to you, she had to be something for herself too. So that makes her double you. She's double that. So she's going to always land on her feet. But at the end of the day, I find that a lot of females is not all that, they not all thankful as they look. Because to hear these men tell me stories about how their first encounter, they were 9, 10, 12, 11, whatever years old, and the woman was a grown lady, that tells me about you too. It tells me about us. Like, we're people, but like, come on now. We got to do better. We got to protect the babies. Don't hurt the babies. But when I hear that, and I'm saying, what? That ain't right. No, who did that to you? That was not okay for them to do that. And your people took you to let them do that? Then they grown too? That ain't right. You done fucked the baby up for life. Because guess what? The first time something feel different, it could be real love. Real love. Guess what you just did? You done made them push all that away because they was infatuated back then because cousin, uncle, brother, whoever told me, yeah, come on, you hanging out with us. And they felt like they was doing big things. But when that whole wave of emotions happened in that moment, because they sensitive as hell as a baby, and you already see your baby touch and do, leave them alone. They just feeling, they finding their way. That's why they eat on stuff and they grab things because they only got see and taste. That's the first senses babies have. To touch and feel, that's already, yeah, y'all, come on now. I'm hearing this was something happen. This happened to some of the men I know. And that's why when we get men and we got them and they act in a certain way, like you talk, find a way to have a conversation. And fellas, stop being scared. Stop being scared to say what's on your mind. Say what you need to say and move how you need to move. And guess what? If they ain't feeling the same way too, oh well, so be it. At least you put it out there and you don't have to, you know how to move. If I like you enough to still be a friend of you or just see you when I see you and say, hey, how you doing? You know, it's all good. Rejection is not always a bad thing, people. Rejection is, guess what? It ain't working. We're going to move on. And guess what? Sometimes the rejection is more for your good than it's theirs. You don't even know it yet. Later on, you'll read about that person and say, wow, I never thought they would do something like that. Thank you. I'm glad I declined the offer to do anything with them on that level. Right? Thank you. I passed on the relationship. We were cool as friends, but wow, I never saw that coming because that would be me. But the older versus the younger, like it can be for a couple of reasons. And I sit right like on the fence thing about it because I wanna just say like you can get with a younger person and hang out and have a good time because you just want to be in your youthful mindset. You want to get back to a place of youthfulness where I can laugh and just have fun and enjoy myself. Because guess what? We should do that. It should be about that because we get up, we work, and life is real and we got responsibilities in it. Guess what? We're going to do these things. I got people I hang around with, my kids, whatever, and we laugh, talk, watch movie, and crack up because you got to have those moments of balance. But don't ever be in it to be able to gain control over someone else. Because when you do that, you lose control over yourself. Real talk. You lose control over yourself. If I'm busy controlling you, then who the hell controlling me? And then soon as somebody ain't acting the way you want because they have evolved, they've grown up, they start to open up and see. Now you mad. We're not going to do that. But this is how it's always been set up. And the reason it started with older male versus female is because that's how it was already staged in our face. That was already put in our face to show us this is okay, it's acceptable. When you look back at all those movies, you watch that little girl get pawned off to an older ass man, and he could have been damn near 10 years, 30 years older than her. And she 14 and he 50. But he gonna bring her home and make use for her because she's productive. She can produce. That ain't gonna work because guess what? You robbed that little girl of everything, her whole childhood. And when men get these younger women, I want you to understand why things go left. Because guess what? As she started to evolve and grow up, she started to realize you helped rob her of her youth. Real talk. Because when an older man get a younger woman, the first thing he gonna do is take her around his older friends and around his settings, because he think he's bringing her up on a level, right? He bougie with it. But guess what? As he's bringing her, he got a younger girl. He knew who she was. He knew how old, and she knew he was older. But she's looking for a protector, a guidance. She's looking for a covering because she's a helpmeet. She's a girl. She was made for the purpose. So whether you be a father figure or my mate, I just need the male protection and covering over me because that's what I was here for. And then she do that, and y'all get together, and she starts to look at you different. She started to see that, wow, like, okay, even though you knew who I was and what I was, I shared my life with you, you understood this, but yet you are basically transforming me into what you want me to be because you're bringing me into your world. You think in your mind, you got her feeling you're bringing her up. You putting her on a bougie status with you. But no, you just took a little girl and took her, if she was whatever age and you was 10 years older, you put her in a room with everybody in the same age as you. And now she has to dress a certain way, act a certain way, move a certain way for your convenience. You understand? And that's not cool because you just robbed her of her youth. So at some point, she's going to wake up and look in the mirror and say, what am I doing here? Why am I in here with him? This dude, I thought he was for me. The whole time he just wanted to control me and transform me into what he wanted me to be. Cause now she don't even know her life, her youth. Cause everywhere y'all go, I tell you 9 times out of 10, you gonna take her everywhere y'all go around your people, cause you want your boys to be like, yeah, I got a little young tenderoni. Look at her, yeah. But you got her dressed up like they dress, like y'all dress, like she's y'all age and she's not. You robbed her of her youth. And guess what? After a while, she gonna be like, no, fuck that. You should have been protecting me. You should have been teaching me. You knew. She don't like you like that no more. I'm just keeping it real. She don't like you like that no more. And you don't understand. Now you want to beat her ass, you want to hurt her, you want to this, you want to that. But I guarantee you, older man versus younger woman, I bet you when she want to go out and do things and have fun and hang out, come on, baby, come on. Oh, no, go ahead, man. You hang out. Because guess what? Your pride and your subconscious saying, I know somebody right here looking at me like, what the fuck is he doing with that young girl? Real talk. But guess what? If your heart, if it is what it is and it's some real, as she evolving, you supposed to have a balance. You got to let her know that you care about her enough that you can have fun with her people too, her age group and all that. You better have that flexibility. But the older woman, let me go over here real quick with y'all. The older woman, when I hear these babies tell me, like I'm looking at them as the baby sitting at the table when I look at these men. Or on the phone with these men in my ear and I hear them talking and I see you as a king. I see you. You may not be where you want to be, but I see the king in you. How about that? I already see it in you enough that I crown you king because I know when you reach where you want to be, you going to sit on your own throne as the king. I'm cool with that because that's what life is about. You better know where you're going. And if somebody see you for what you are, pay attention. But guess what? My women, I'm very upset to know that I got men around me telling me their first encounter was at the age of 9 with a grown-ass woman. I'm upset about that. And I gave y'all everything on ahead. I said, wow, let me not judge. Because she might have been on drugs or they may have a mental issue. It's things you can do to get help for those. It's things to get help for that. But being a woman and we are help me and we are the reproduction of society. Because man can't make, he is the carry, he is the package. But he can't plant nothing and no foundation, no incubator, no nothing for processing without us. Right? And because we carry them in us and push them out of us, 9 years old, whatever I'm on, no, I'm not doing, that's a baby. That's a baby. That could very well be my baby. And guess what? We as women, because we are the producers and we are the ones who carry and nurture within, while that baby is in us, we build a bond. We would do the same thing for a baby that was laying beside our baby and ain't nobody coming to pick it up. We would take it home because that's in us to do so. So no, I was very upset and very offended, and I was hurt to know that a woman, just because the steaks look good on your end, would do that to a baby. I have a problem with it. But older men versus younger women is the topic. And I'm saying a lot of older men out here is breaking, jumping to younger women to prove something to themselves. And as soon as she started walking and standing and feel all that you have showered her with on whatever level you want to do it for her, guess what? She's still evolving past that. And when she look back and look up and you find she's gone, because she's moving forward, because we will always continue to grow. That's the only thing I'm talking about right now it was older men versus younger women. But I had to speak on the women that I found that do things with younger men on every age level and it don't matter to them. And that's a problem too. I know it's a lack of in a whole lot of situations. But one thing for certain, the women, you keep getting younger women because the ones you get, by the time you get them, the next 10 years, if you were 30, when you turn 40 and she turned 20, when you turn 40 and she turns 30, guess what? Either way, she's evolving and she will always surpass you in her everything of involvement because she was designed that way. Because God knew we was into a wicked world and men would not always stand on the platform they should. But if you get her and she see you like that, you already been crowned king. So stand in that and not mistreat or manipulate and use it to your advantage, but do the right thing by it. Okay? I'm out right now, y'all. And I have not been live and I don't do live. I did it. I really don't care how nobody feel. I said what I had to say. And I thank y'all for it. And I told y'all that I did a video clip. I put it out. I let you know a brother of ours just took his life. He took a baby. I'm going to say a baby life because I can't say he took a baby life. I don't care. I told y'all when I said my story. If you didn't see it, go back and click. See the video. Like I said, the news pissed me off because keep hollering about and a woman call and a child. God damn it, y'all ain't go to each door next door to one. It's 2 doors to every door. Each neighbor on one side, ask who they are. You would have known they were a family. It was this. Something went horribly wrong. And the baby ended up dead. He took himself. I want to believe he took himself for the simple fact he couldn't understand that the baby got hurt. I don't know. But I'm upset for the fact that somehow his wife was full of bullets. That was somebody I cared for. But we got to do better. Stop doing things in a manipulating mindset. Do things for the right purpose. If you got somebody, if you're an older man and like younger women, then stand on that, but treat her like a fucking queen and build her up to stand on the platform that you saw her at. Anything, y'all. I love y'all. I got a lot of emotions flying. And I'm just talking about what I'm feeling. Okay. Smooches. Guess what? We'll be back. And that's still my brother. Right or wrong. They whatever they say is certain things I don't believe, but I do believe this. I know what happened. I know he's gone, she's gone, and the mother is a heartbroken. I know she's already torn up. And this is so sad. But these are the behaviors that lead to things that we can't go back and make right. When you're an older man dealing with a little girl, and then you get her and she started to grow up. If you get her at 25, by the time she by the time she 30, you looking at 35. No, 30, 35. She's a different woman. By the time she's 40, she a different woman. And how far are you in age to go out and find another little one? That means you are a very immature, weak individual that you got to keep praying on the young. But we got to do better. Real talk. And when you get something that you find out you wasn't financially set up for, send her back, break her down, him down too. But ladies, when I find out 9, 10, 12, I got a whole nother conversation for y'all on the next go round. Real talk. And examine your heart while we're in the process of waiting for when the conversation occur. Smooches, I love you guys. I love y'all.